Going to a football match in the middle of the pandemic was like an undergoing dress test in a building TV show. The pre-match message instructs me to arrive at Hendon Park in Glasgow 3 hours before Scotland scored against Czech Republic. I must wear a mask at all times. I must take in all food from my micro bag in a plastic bag provided by the stadium and all the catering at the station. So no one see burgers or cartoons of La Pepsi conditioning. When I obediently turn up the stadium, the crowd are predictably spark. The pop outside the ground of a floor supporter looked like a tempting alternative, but when I suggest to a superior and my go green ahead of the game, a look of concern crosses her kindly face. Be careful which cup you're going to, she says. Always see it coming. Always refer to the dog with baby beside them blocks. I had really nice there for the US stuff. My friend Alastair, but he's from Edinburgh, so also not 100% at home in Glasgow. We decided to take the advice and skip the pub. Inside the stadium, we encountered a guy in the loudest tartan suit I ever seen, including a tiny tartan tote bag. I posed for a photo with him, and then he tells me, "I had it tailor-made, son. It fits me like a glove." It is not just COVID regulation that make this year 2020 as a university insistent doing it has also become so into the culture wars. Outside of our culture war, the Asian football team as symbol of the nation, but that is not a straightforward task at a time when national identities were fiercely contested. The pressing issue for Scotland is independent. For England, it is race. English football team has decided to take the knee before matches as a protest against racism. But each time they do it, they are booed by a significant section of their own supporters. Even the government seems uncertain about how to respond. After hesitating for a while, Boris Johnson, Prime Minister, condemned the booing and urged them to get behind the team. But two members of his cabinet, Jacob Lismo and Philip Patel, defended the protest, with Lismo suggesting that the protesters are not expressing racism but condemning the Marxist of Black Matter movement. Patel, a British Home Secretary, has accused players of indulging in gesturing politics. Players from the England team could frequent press conferences are normally confined with discussing tactics, injuries, and the atmosphere inside camp, and now being asked to react home secretary. It would be natural to assume that cabinet ministers are better at politics than footballers, but the Johnson government has reason to be wary of the classic politics. Last year, it went down to an economics diplomat from Marcus Rashford over the extension of free school meal for poor families. The Manchester United and England board mobilized 1 million signatures behind the petition and forced the Johnson government to change tack. The 23-year-old Rashford declaration for the 2020 included a same comment of Obama, while plenty of players are prepared to grumble about the work in Rashford. Some are willing to take him in public. The culture wars of football are not just happening in Britain. The multiracial Belgian team 축전이 in Russia ahead of their opening game. They were also booed by the crowd. Doubtless the Russians also protesting racism. Doubtless the Russians also protesting racism. Doubtless the Russians also were protesting against Marxism. Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, one of the host nations for Euro 2020, has defended fans who were visiting Team Day20, saying that Hungarians see the gesture as a provocation. Orban is himself a right-wing provocateur who has become a hero to the Trumpist right in America by issuing frequent warnings about alleged dangers, Europe being flooded by Muslims. But even some moderate conservatives are uncomfortable with football while taking the knee. One prominent Tory thinker in Britain announced to me that football is been a political space. But now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means. This year's tournament inevitably brings back memories of Euro 96. When England also played their games at Wembley and the whole country, they seemed to get behind the team in an uncomplicated sort of way. Back then, packed the stadium, all joined in the singing of the Lions. Football's coming home. Now the stadiums are largely empty, and some of the home crowds are actually bring the players. But as somebody who has been to many England games, but as somebody who has been to many England games over the years, I know that the team was never mixed up with politics or race is an illusion. England games have always attracted a substantial number of authority hooligan and far-right supporters, whose trademark chant is "No surrender to the RA." At the last European Football Championship in France in 2016, the ugly tradition of English football hooliganism re-emerged. When I remarked to another fan that I didn't particularly enjoy being caught up in a near riot outside a bar in Marseille, I was told curtly, "If you don't like it, you should stay at home and watch the game on television." Football growing in the 1970s were also where I saw the most overrated and terrible with this. In Britain, it was routine to see black plates, bark by bulls, and monkey noises. The football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years, so if the current national side feel they want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of bringing politics into a political space. The politics, particularly the racial politics, have always been there. The identity issues are rather different for Scotland. Euro 2020 comes as the Scottish government is ramping up demand for a second independence referendum. This is the first major international tournament the team has qualified for since 1998, neatly fitting the narrative of national revival. Arriving in Scotland for the first game of the tournament, I find the local paper full of optimism. In recognition of the enormity of the occasion, the Scottish government has even allowed schools to stop lessons to allow the kids to watch the game against text live. As a visiting English fan, I wonder how I feel about all this. I grew up supporting Scotland in big international tournaments. I had I had little option since England failed to qualify for the World Cup of 1973 and 1978. But British identity was less complicated back then. The anthem played for the Scotland side that lined up to play Brazil in 1974 was "God Save the Queen", although the YouTube recording does not show the Scottish player looking particularly delighted. Today, the crowd and team will be belting out "Flower of Scotland" with a stirring word that we can still rise now and be the nation again. When Scotland qualified for the World Cup in 1973, there were more than 90,000 people inside Hampden. But today, thanks to COVID, it's a little over 9,000. Far from the joyous return to the big time that has been advertised, it feels pretty black and lonely up in the stands. Even if the Tartan army has been reduced to little more than a couple of battalions. They belt out "Flower of Scotland" loud enough to drown out conversation. The team started the game with all the expected passion and streamed forward. Their captain De Robertson can be seen gesturing to his player to calm down. Then the tech score and the air is sucked out of the stadium. At halftime, which I choose spent in the toilet next to the hand dryer, the warmest spot in Hampden, there is hopeful chatter around the urinal that Scotland might be able to turn this round. But early in the second half, football history is made by the Czechs. Patrick Schick, the team centre forward, gets the ball on the halfway line and floats ball over the Scottish goalkeeper into the net. It is one of the most brilliant goals any of us will ever witness. The crowd is now almost totally silent, apart from a tiny group of cheering Czechs on the other side of the stadium, and a group of children near me who continue happily shouting for Scotland, while the other around them was frozen in horror. After the match, Alastair reminds me that Scottish fans are used to bitter disappointment. Making the national football team a symbol of the nation is double-edged sword. We imagine them scoring wonderful goals and celebrating with the fans. But what if your goalkeeper floundering flat on his back and tangled in the net? Euro 2020 already delivered humbling setbacks for two football-mad populist leaders. Orban gave permission for capacity crowd to attend Hungary's opening games in Budapest against Portugal, only to see the national side lose 3-0. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, president of Turkey, traveled to Azerbaijan and sat in a place of honor in the stands, next to Azer president, from where he was able to see Turkey go down to a 2-0 defeat against Wales. England fans also have a habit disappointing their most ardent fans. The site often portrays as the embodiment of what we like to believe are national characteristics: courage, calmness under pressure. In fact, as a recent piece by Jonathan Lear in The Guardian pointed out, England are uniquely bad at holding a lead in a tournament. The numbers seem to suggest they might even be battlers, and they all
The French and Italians are much better at holding their nerve when they take a lead. If Gareth Southgate, the South England manager, can somehow break this cycle and turn England into a winning outfit, he would inadvertently provide a huge boost to a Johnson government that is desperate for a symbol of the success of Brexit Britain. But Southgate has subtly but unmistakably positioned himself to the left of the government on taking the knee. He leads a multiracial team and has irreconcilably defended their right to make statements on subjects other than football. It has become accepted wisdom in Britain that culture wars always work better for the right than the left. But football may be an exception. A poll taken across Europe before Euro 2020 showed 54% of English football fans supported taking the knee, with 39% opposed. If the England team keep winning, the number in favor may rise along with the team's popularity. But once the right may find itself in the wrong end of a culture war for the duration of Euro 2020, I will care much less about who wins the culture war than who wins the tournament. Wins the tournament. It's taking place in the middle of pandemic. The stadiums are quarter full and England are playing half decently. I am allowing myself to for the weirdest outcome of the lot. An England victory.